right, hey, what's up, everyone? Hey, if you when you jump on, just say hello. Hey, Veronica, good to see you. How's it going? Say hello below if you're watching live, of course. Hey, Ronald, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Or if you're watching the replay, of course, comment replay. Hey, Mandy, what's going on? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whoo, man, I tell you what, I have not been more excited. And it's been a while. Hey, Deidre, good to see you. Beverly, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So two things that happened tonight. A lot of folks who've been following me know that actually it was the day before Easter, between Good Friday and Easter, Jamie and I were introduced by a friend of ours. We were introduced to a man by the name of Stephen Scott. And Stephen Scott is known as the breakthrough guy, right? Hey, Tracy, good to see you. Stephen Scott, Jamie, help me say hi to everybody. Debbie, what's going on, girl? Good to see you. So Stephen Scott, if you don't know who he is, I highly encourage you to look him up. Go to YouTube, Google, check out Stephen Scott. Stephen Scott is he's amazing. He's written I think right around 15 books. He's a million-copy best-selling author. I actually have one of his books here called The Richest Man Who Ever Lived. And it's really weird that I read the book but didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to the author. I read that book probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm going to kind of tell you how these lines kind of converged, right? Hey, Roger, good to see you. So back in early 2000s, 2004, 2005, I had did a lot of research on the human immune system. And the reason I was doing this research was my mom had gotten sick, and I wanted to find out what would cause Lynn says happy birthday. Hey, Rock, Kathy, good to see you. Why would someone who's two people are similar health and living I guess lifestyles and similar health, one would have such a detrimental effects in their life, and one just continues to go on and thrive? What was the difference? And a lot of my research came down to the immune system. And then while I was studying the immune system, all of my research, hey Paula, my research led me to a molecule called glutathione. Really, really intriguing. I learned back then, 20-something years ago, that glutathione was very, very much needed in the body. In fact, over the years, I've learned that it controls over 400 different processes in our body. Some of them are very, very, very well needed. Hey, Dawn, good to see you. Matter of fact, I recently read and learned that we can live for a couple of minutes without oxygen, but we can't live a second in life without glutathione. And here's why. When we manufacture hemoglobin in our bodies, you might realize or might have remembered that hemoglobin is what carries oxygen throughout our bodies, right? We say blood carries oxygen. Well, it's the hemoglobin that carries the oxygen molecules. But the problem is when we first manufacture it, it's not the correct polarity because it's got to bind to that oxygen molecule. And so hemoglobin's got to be reduced to what's called a +2. And in order for it to bind, until then, it's like two north poles of a Hey, Margarita. It's like two north poles of magnets. You ever tried to put that together? Here's a north pole of a magnet. Here's a north pole of a magnet, and you try to put them together, and they just kind of miss each other, right? Kind of like repel. Well, that's what happens when hemoglobin is first manufactured in our bodies. So it's got to be reduced to a +2. And once it's reduced, the polarity switches, boom, and now it binds to the oxygen molecule, and hemoglobin's able to transport that oxygen throughout our body. Very much needed. That's one of its primary jobs. And so without that ability, then of course you don't live. Carbon-based life anywhere on this planet doesn't exist because you have to have oxygen, right? And so that's one of the things that I've learned. I've learned that it's a super, I call it the mother of all antioxidants. So what's an antioxidant? Well, that's that's a molecule that has what we call a donor electron. And that's very important because its whole job as an antioxidant is to sequester or quiet free radicals. What's a free radical? Well, that's a damaged molecule in our system that's been damaged by oxidative stress. What causes oxidative stress? Life, breathing, drinking, eating. Everything you do in life creates oxidative stress within our bodies at the cellular level. And that's why it creates free radicals. Free radical proliferation throughout the body, if it's left unchecked over the years, turns into something that you don't want. You got to go to the doctor because you're taking a shower or whatever. You feel something that's not normally there, whatever, and you go to the doctor to get it checked out, and 3 or 4 days later you get the call and you got something you don't want. That's what happens as a result of unchecked free radical existence in our bodies. So we have to be able to have a certain amount of antioxidants in order to arrest those free radicals, to calm the oxidative stress. And so that's another job of glutathione. I learned all this back in the 2000s, and I was excited about this particular find on my part, right? And I did some research on where I can get this glutathione, because here's what else I learned, is that when we're young, when we're first born, our bodies naturally produce it. And but the problem is, once we reach our 20s, the production amount starts to decline. Why? Because as a human species, we begin to experience life. We're drinking, we're eating, we're breathing the air outside. We're beginning to be involved in activities which creates that stress in our bodies, right? Like sports, athletics, getting up early, going to school, go to bed late. And in our teenage years, late teens, we start to maybe experiment with some spirits, some alcohol. We go out and we have a couple of drinks with the friends, and we tend to start doing that more and more once we become of legal age, right? And so all that beats on our bodies as a human. That's why our bodies tend to produce less and less glutathione as we get older. As a matter of fact, it reduces about 10 to 12% every decade. So by the time you reach my age, 59, I'm producing less than half of what I was producing when I was a young buck. And so that's why a lot of folks meet with all these insults to our body. People call them the diseases of aging, right? Just Google conditions caused by low glutathione. You'll find that you're going to be amazed. You're going to be like, wow. So I knew all that. And then one day a friend of mine, a friend of ours, sends Jamie a video because she knows Jamie's into skincare, and one of the products that she was wanting to introduce was a Hydrostat nano-glutathione product. It's not here. Huh? I was looking for my prop. She hid it from me, y'all. That's all right. So she was calling to introduce Jamie to this right here, because this right here by itself is revolutionizing the skincare industry. No more 2, 3, 4, 5 step skincare. I seen one just the other day from some company, $190. $190 for some 3-step system. Spritz and go. Right there, 2 or 3 times a day. In the morning when you're getting dressed. In the afternoon if you can. Right before you go to bed. $50 for a month, right? So she was calling to introduce her to this. But what I heard was, I should be, but I'm not into skincare. I rely on Jamie to remind me to do all that. But what I heard was 2 most important things to me: nano and glutathione. When I heard those 2 words, I got up out of my chair right there while she was still watching the video. I went to my back in the bedroom, off my vanity, got my wallet, came back, sat down, went to the website, placed an order all before her video was finished. Why?
Tell me to give her your website.
I knew, yeah, I kept asking her, just get her website. I knew what glutathione does. You see, I had been in severe discomfort for almost a year when we were first introduced. Last year, I hurt my shoulder, my neck, all up in here, carrying a mattress of all things. I did something, I don't know what it was, but I was at, look, a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I don't feel anything, 10 being it's so much discomfort I want to cut my arm off. Well, it was about a 12. Serious. It would wake me up in the middle of the night. She's sleeping. I'm pacing the living room floor in our condo in Florida. I'm not doing good. I'd have to make coffee just because I wasn't gonna go back to bed. I was in so much discomfort. I went and see a chiropractor. I went and see a sports therapist. I even had some friends send me these little energy discs, little energy stickers. I put them all up on my neck. That's where they told me to place them. I look like my grandkid's sticker book. I had them all up and down here. That didn't work at all. I mean, not at all. And so time goes on. Days turn into weeks, turn into months. We get a big old hurricane hit down here in Louisiana. We move back from Florida to come take care of all this mess. I'm taking some over-the-counter anti-inflammatories just so I can survive the day, get the discomfort down to a 2 or 3, maybe a 4, right? And so when I heard nano-glutathione, I knew what it can do. I ordered it. That was on a Saturday, y'all. The next day was Easter. It took forever for the product to come in. Forever. It was just like Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days after Easter. It was here at the front door. I tracked it every day. That's how much I couldn't wait for it to come in. And when it got here, I was like a kid at Christmas. I ripped open the box, got this bottle out, I opened it, I poured a cap, swish, 2, swish, 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 swish. 30 seconds is all it is. Here's the delivery system. It's sublingual. In 2000, when I was investigating the immune system and I learned about glutathione, my intention I put out in the universe was that if somebody would develop a delivery system for supplemental glutathione that would bypass the gut, they would revolutionize the wellness of humanity on a global scale. You know why? Because glutathione is very fragile. It's made up of 3 amino acids. It's a tripeptide. It's made up of glycine, glutamate, which is glutamic acid, and L-cysteine, right? And L-cysteine is just as fragile. It's the reason, L-cysteine is the reason that glutathione itself is so fragile. And so when it goes through the gut, if you take a glutathione supplement through the gut, it gets destroyed in pills and powders. Even if you try to take a precursor that you drop in water, right? Whether it's L-cysteine or NAC or NAC, if you try to take a precursor pill that bubbles in water and you drink it, it's getting destroyed in the gut. You might get maybe 8-9% benefit. So here's what Steve Scott did, nano glutathione, Hydrostat nano glutathione. There's ways of nano, they got people out there doing nano and they're wrapping them in these liposomes. If you don't know what a liposome is, it's a fat. Look it up. That's the last thing your cell wants is more fat, honestly. That fats just accumulate more chemical toxins and heavy metals. So what Steve Scott was able to do, his breakthrough, was he was able to take, he's partnered with some nanoscientists and nanobiologists, and he was able to take glutathione and nanosize it to the smallest ever nanoparticles, and they have a method of wrapping them in pristine water molecules. So that's why you can swish like mouthwash for 30 seconds. Within 30 seconds, it's sublingually entered into your bloodstream. You could swish for longer, but it's sublingually into your bloodstream through the mucosa of your cheeks and gums. And within 60 to 70 seconds, it's permeating all the cells of your body. And your cells are rejoicing. Why? Because it's water. It's the glutathione, the nanoparticles of glutathione is wrapped in water that's more pristine than medical grade water. It's like a Trojan horse. But in addition to glutathione, they've nano-sized L-cysteine, the precursor, one of the 3 amino acids that make up that tripeptide of glutathione. Why is that? So it encourages your cells, because that's where your body normally manufactures it. The glutathione is in the cells of your body. And so the L-cysteine encourages your cells to continue manufacturing, while at the same time, the glutathione supplement that we're providing is a master detoxifier. That's another thing glutathione does. It's got a sticky molecule on the L-cysteine amino acid that it's like fly paper. It sucks all the chemical toxins and heavy metals out of your cells, so you can get rid of it by peeing, drinking water, elimination, waste. So you're cleaning your cells out, and then we're actually encouraging your cells to produce more glutathione. The results have been absolutely amazing. I did two capfuls the first Wednesday we got it, when we first got it. A little bit later, a few hours later. You see, that's the daily serving size, just 2 capfuls, 2 teaspoons. Just a few hours later, we're gonna go out to dinner. Jamie heads to the car. You see, I'm an overachiever. I head over to the cabinet where the swish is at, and I sneak me another teaspoon. You see, I've been dealing with all that discomfort for almost a year. I don't know if, well, in fact, I do know there's people out there that have discomfort, and they've been dealing with it, and then it'll flat wear on you. Hey, Margaret, good to see you, babe. When you go through that kind of discomfort for that type of long period of time, I mean, Jamie and I just met a gal named Brittany, and look, she told us for years her discomfort level was a 6 out of 10 for a long time. You don't sleep. It's rough. And so I tried everything. I couldn't get it to stop. Couldn't get the discomfort to go away. And so like I said, what's that word? I submitted to over-the-counter anti-inflammatories, just so I could sleep at night and function. So later that night, on that Wednesday night, I had even a 4th teaspoon, a 4th one. I went to sleep. You're right, Margarita, I do need a whiteboard. I went to sleep on Wednesday night, slept through the night. I woke up Thursday morning. I felt good. I really felt good. Not completely out of discomfort, but I felt good. I was excited to feel I was able to get up and move quick. I wouldn't have to slowly crawl myself out of bed and stretch this way and lean that way and try to loosen things. I felt good. And so I did the same thing on Thursday. 2 capfuls, a little bit after noon. Another capful around 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then another one at about 9 o'clock at night. I went to sleep Thursday night and I woke up Friday morning. For the first time in almost a year, I was 100% free. No discomfort. No discomfort. So you wanna make a difference in somebody's life? Help them become discomfort free. Help them to live a life where they don't have to be in that situation. Since then, we've been swishing since the week after Easter. And my eyesight, look, I work on my phone and my laptop all day long. I help a good friend of mine, Lauren Barley. We manage over 80-something vacation rental properties in Cocoa Beach, Florida, and I do it remotely from my home here. And so it'll wear on your eyes. It'll make them tired. And so my eyes don't get tired anymore. They used to get to a point where I had to stop for a while, but they just don't get tired anymore. Which is good. It's a good thing. If you look at some of my older pictures, you'll see I used to wear glasses. I stopped wearing those, and I feel like my eyesight's a whole lot better. I think I'm the only person I know that can get my hair cut this short, which I just did this morning. And within 2 weeks, I need a complete haircut again because it's getting too thick. So, which is a good thing. That's another side benefit, right? Energy levels out the roof. Look, for a long time, I couldn't do any more exercising or anything. I'm on the floor stretching, doing push-ups, doing knee bend, whatever I can do, right? I'm not in any more discomfort, and I feel like I'm in my 30s again, which is exciting. You don't have to take my word for none of these testimonials. We got a testimonial group. I encourage you to join it. If you're not part of our testimonial group, just simply ask me or maybe one of my friends here who may have shared this with you. Ask them to add you to the testimonial group. You should read what people are experiencing from a true, innovative product, an absolute breakthrough. NutraSwish and Neumi Skin, the befores and afters, is crazy. It's just crazy. So that's why I'm excited.
What a great product that's really changing people's lives for the better. We are so excited. Jamie and I, we couldn't be more excited. I've been in the health wellness arena since the early 2000s. Like I said, when I started doing all that research on the immune system, when my mom got sick. And my hope would have been that I could have done something to affect the longevity of her life. But we all make personal decisions on how we want to handle things that we experience in life. And we can never impose our will on anyone. We can always just offer solutions. And if people are open to solutions, it could affect their lives in a positive way. And if they're not open to solutions, then of course they're traveling the road that they were destined to travel, right? Which is a hard lesson to learn. I want to save everybody. I don't think, sometimes we get a little jealous, or not jealous, but we get selfish. And the people that we love the most, we want to keep them around no matter what. And so it kind of breaks our hearts. It breaks my heart when I see people that don't, even after the 166,000 of published papers on PubMed about glutathione supplementation. And even the fact that there's published articles on PubMed that tell you that sublingual delivery beats IV and transdermal delivery all day long. Especially it beats through the gut when it comes to glutathione because of the fragility of the molecule. When there's 166-something thousand published articles on PubMed of the efficacy of this supplementation, of this molecule in the human body, and people still won't pay attention. It used to really tear me up. In fact, it was why I kind of got out of the health and wellness industry, because I wanted people to so bad to make differences, make changes in their life so they can make differences in their life. And some people they're just set in their ways. Nothing you could say sometimes. And then I read a poem. It was about this little boy. He was walking along the beach. And as he was walking, the beach was littered with starfish. They were everywhere. And so he would reach down and pick one up and throw it in the ocean, and reach down, pick another one up and throw it in the ocean. And this old guy comes by. He says, "Son, what are you doing?" He says, "There's no way that you can make a difference to all those starfish." He reached down and picked up one more. Threw it in the ocean. He said, "Well, to that one I did." And so I want to encourage everyone watching this live or watching the replay, just to pick up one more starfish and throw it in the ocean. Just share your story with one more person. Let them know what difference NutraSwish is making in your life. Yeah, they're not all going to see it your way, and they're not all going to start using this sublingual delivery system. But just make a difference to one more. And tomorrow, just make a difference to one more. The next day, just make a difference to one more. And the day after, just make a difference to one more. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. I really enjoyed sharing. Jamie and I, we love each and every one of y'all. And we're excited and we're happy that you're a part of our family. And we can't wait to see you. And we can't wait to hear your testimony. And we can't wait to see you at the top of whatever it is you're striving for. Y'all have a great night. And always remember, whatever you do it with everything you got. Shoot for the moon, because if you miss, you're going to land amongst the stars. And you see, that's where Jamie and I are hanging out. And we invite you, each and every one of you, to come join us. Y'all have a great night.